the new iPad mini. The 2024 iPad mini. A17 Pro, I guess, is the name they're giving it.
Yeah.
No 7th gen, no year, no number. It's kind of odd, but that's what they're calling it. And if you've been updated with the latest Apple drops, Apple products that have released in the last week or so, you've noticed that there's no announcement. There hasn't been a keynote. There hasn't been anything fancy and giving any updates to the people watching. But you just gotta look at their website. You wake up and refresh, and lo and behold, there's a new Apple product that dropped that morning. And
Yeah.
we've seen iPads, we've seen MacBook Pros, we've seen new iMacs, a new Mac Mini, and you know what? I'm gonna say it. Why? Because there hasn't been a lot that changed, and maybe with other products that we mentioned earlier, there's new updates and there's a lot of changes. But in this case, specifically with the iPad Mini, why?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that was like the case. That was like the case throughout the week. I think every day throughout this previous week, you send me a text. You're like, new Apple product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it really was.
Yeah, and it's just it was one of those things where they did not make any announcement, no keynote. It was just on the YouTube channel and on the Apple website.
Yeah.
That was basically it.
Really,
They would drop like
Yeah.
trailers or like
Right.
product like videos or whatever on the YouTube channel, but no actual announcements. And I will say, like, when I first started using this iPad mini, like, my first thought was, why does it exist? Because I mean, there's nothing different between 7th gen, this is 7th gen, and 6th gen.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Even down, it's still the same 8.3-inch liquid retina display, the same exact design. Everything is exactly the same.
It's a clone. It's a clone.
Yeah.
And it's a little crazy. I mean, you look at the cameras, and before I even get started, I don't know why you would use an iPad for camera purposes.
Please don't.
But if you do, and you're wondering what the specs are in this new one, they're the same ones. That you have a 12 megapixel front camera, 12 megapixel wide camera, single lens. That's it. Nothing fancy. No sensors, no LiDAR sensors like iPad Pros. So you do have a camera, but
At
that's
least the
kind of where
selfie
it
one
ends.
has center stage.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. So if you do conference calls, FaceTime, you have center stage on the front
Yeah.
one. The speakers, they're the same too. You have the stereo speaker system, same quality, same hardware, same look, same.
Great for media consumption, speaker wise.
Right. That's
Great,
very true.
Great for
That's
media
very true.
consumption, speaker wise. But yeah, it's all essentially the same. Now I will say there is some new stuff internally.
Oh,
Yeah, we
Really?
now have the A17 Pro
ah,
from last year's iPhone 15 Pros,
ah.
and it, in my opinion, they are strictly here just to enable Apple Intelligence.
And I think you're right.
Yeah.
Which it's honestly, it's a little wild because if you sit down and think about how they've now released a new product, new generation of their product, just for the sake of having an option for Apple Intelligence, I think they're going the wrong way. I think there should be a way of integrating Apple Intelligence for the products that were out already. That's one. But two, this is not something that needs to be in every single product. Like to make your customers have to upgrade just for one new feature that's a software feature, I don't think that's the right way of going about it. So
Yeah.
that's just where I stand personally.
No, I 100% agree. I mean, if you want to stick on the topic of like new things,
Oh, there's more.
there is more. Yeah. There, it's now compatible with the Apple Pencil Pro.
Ah, never mind.
Yeah. Well, wait, hold on. Whoa. I can give you one more thing.
No,
Yeah. It's compatible with the Apple Pencil USB Type-C.
never mind times two.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's honestly wild because even if you think about that, great. Let's say that you have an iPad Pro and you have a new Apple Pencil Pro and you want to use it with your iPad Mini, awesome. You can use it now. But if it's the other way and you have an iPad Pro that's older with the second gen Apple Pencil,
Oh, don't get me started.
can't use it anymore.
Yeah.
So you better say bye-bye to that Apple Pencil because you can't do trade-in, you can't do anything. You better throw it away and be like, time to buy a new one. That's even
Yeah.
more money you're spending on this.
Yeah. So I actually did upgrade from, because iPad Pros skipped M3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I upgraded from M2 iPad Pro to M4 iPad Pro. And I did have the second gen Apple Pencil, the one that attaches magnetically.
I remember.
And I remember buying it. I was like, I don't need the Pencil Pro. I'm not super creative. And I already have the second gen Apple Pencil. So I'm just going to use it, right? Assuming it's going to work. Because why wouldn't it work?
You
It didn't
would think.
work.
You would think.
It didn't work.
It was
Yeah.
wild. Dude.
It didn't work. Yeah. So Yeah, if you want to use the Apple Pencil with the iPad mini, the new one, you're going to have to get either the Pro or the USB Type C. If you happen to have one of the older ones, like David said, you're going to have to potentially sell it if you can. You can't trade it in. In my case, I literally gave it to my family who already had a second gen Apple Pencil. So now they have two second gen Apple Pencils for one iPad Pro.
Multi-pencil tasking, I guess, maybe. But honestly, on a lighter note, great that you're compatible with the Apple Pencil Pro. You can also keep the same folios and same keyboards. So far, we've tested they do work, so you can keep using the same thing. And probably the one thing that's honestly the best upgrade, which is not even amazing,
Okay.
but it's a step up for sure. It's the fact that on the last gen, the storage options were only 64 and 256, which 64,
Don't get me started.
that's a take for a different video.
Yeah.
But this one, you have 128, you have 256, and now you have 512. So you definitely have a lot more options. And honestly, it feels like we're kind of hating on this product a lot. And in a sense, sure,
Yeah.
I'll take that. But we're also coming from a perspective of people that have used the last generation's iPad mini. And in 2 years, this is what we're getting.
Yeah.
In 2 years, instead of getting a major upgrade, Apple Intelligence.
Yeah. Which we did use last gen's iPad mini, right?
Right. We
the last
reviewed
gen,
it.
the 6th gen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We did use that. So one, I remember when we reviewed that, I did not like that it started at 64. I thought that was
I remember.
terrible value for the consumer, right? And then now we're starting at 128. I still don't necessarily think that's super great, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of a shame because there's just so much here that I feel like Apple could have at least added to it, since it is now leaning more towards, like, Apple could have called this the iPad Mini Pro and it probably would have been applicable because it's now compatible with the Apple Pencil Pro and it has the A17 Pro chip in it, whereas last gen had the A15 Bionic. No Pro moniker anywhere, right?
That's true.
But I would like to say that I'm getting to a point now where Apple really needs to stop gatekeeping the ProMotion display for the Pro level models.
Oh, and I think it would have justified the upgrade a lot better.
Yeah.
I think just having ProMotion on your iPad mini
Yeah.
would have made a lot of people say, hey, I'll upgrade, I'll spend the money, I'll lose on my product with that crappy trade-in value that Apple gives and make that jump.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, and there are still like other features that I would have liked to have seen on here too that are still not here, given that it's now leaning more towards Pro than anything, right? There's still no Face ID, for example. There's still Touch ID that's built into the power button. It's cool. You can use it in portrait and landscape. It's fast. It's accurate. Like, it makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, there's plenty of room in this display. You've seen how small the Face ID notches have gotten now on the Pro iPhones. There's plenty of room. There's definitely plenty of bezel here for Apple to put in, even if it's traditional Face ID from like iPhone 11 or iPhone 12.
100%.
Right? They could have definitely done it, but they stuck with the same Touch ID. There was a lot more room for physical improvement with this iPad mini compared to the previous generation, not just something like Apple Intelligence. Because chances are, with Apple Intelligence, you can probably get away with it on like a MacBook Pro or your iPhone 16 or 15 Pro. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to be the first to grab the mini for Apple Intelligence purposes.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree. And it's weird because it seems like Apple doesn't know where to put the iPad mini, because you're right. They're including some of the Pro features, but not all of the Pro features. And yet they're including also some of the base model features, even though this is kind of an in-between. Like, I don't know. There's times that I don't know if I should call this like a mini version of the iPad Air, or now like a mini version of the iPad Pro.
Yeah.
It's weird. And even when it comes to the pricing, now pricing didn't change, which is great. But it still feels like it's kind of high for a mini version of a tablet. We're looking at $499 for the 128, and it goes in $100 increments. So we're going from $499 to $599 to $699.
Yeah.
So if you want to get the 512 gigabyte option, you're spending $700.
Those are just the Wi-Fi numbers, by the way. You'll spend more if you wanted to get Wi-Fi cellular.
Exactly.
And add accessories like a Folio or an Apple Pencil.
It adds up
and
quick.
Apple Care.
So quick.
Yeah. You
now,
could very easily get to like the $1,000 mark, I think, with this iPad mini.
on something that's not considered a Pro model.
Yeah. With no ProMotion display.
Exactly. So it just goes back to what we're saying. It's in a weird spot where either make it cheaper, great, or include more features and justify the price and the
100%.
upgrade for those people that are coming from a previous model.
Yeah.
Now, you do have other color options. So now you have a new purple, a new blue. You have the Starlight and Space Gray, which I think we were talking about this. Space Gray, and I feel like people have said this too. Space Gray is like the one color that's never consistent in Apple's lineup of products in all of its history. Ever since Space Gray came out with what, the iPhone 5, it was a different shade
It's
of
a
gray
different shade every time.
every time, which sure, that's cool. It's a dark color, but just call it gray, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why you have to be so fancy with the terminology
Yeah.
and not even have a consistent color.
Yeah, so we have the space gray for the purposes of this review. I do still think my personal favorite is probably the purple. I'm more of like a color person.
I
I will
love
say
purple,
it is a
bro.
very, very light shade of purple. Like there was an iPhone that dropped a couple years ago where it was like a rich purple color.
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
I think it was a 14.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. It's not that shade of purple. It's very much like a faded purple. It's almost like you can't even tell. But I mean, I think like for my particular use case scenario with the iPad mini, I still very much enjoy it for media consumption.
Right.
Like it's great for picking up, watching YouTube videos. The screen is like a perfect size between, you can carry it around with one hand. It's still like unbelievably light whenever I pick it up.
Oh, yeah.
It's still
Yeah.
shockingly light whenever you pick it up. It's great for media consumption, but at the same time, it's just like, I was hoping for more.
And I think that's what it comes down to, because if you're someone that has an iPad mini 6th gen, no, don't even think
Yeah,
about
I
it.
wouldn't
There's
consider
there's literally no reason. And if you really want Apple Intelligence, please upgrade your phone or upgrade your computer. Just upgrade something else. There's no reason for you to upgrade your iPad mini.
It'll most likely be a better experience on those types of products.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
honestly, now let's say that you don't have an iPad mini and there's something specific that you know you're going to be able to take advantage of. It is a great product. But that's because you're not coming from a previous product that has very similar features and you're starting from here.
Yeah.
Then sure, why not? If you even if you find a deal so that way you can save on the folio or accessories or something extra, please do so. Black
Yeah.
Friday is coming, right? It's around the corner.
Yeah.
So see if there's any deals on the accessories, because it adds up quick.
Yeah,
And
previous iPad mini was also like really like appealing to creatives because of compatibility with second gen Apple Pencil.
Mm-hmm.
But now with compatibility with Apple Pencil Pro, if you don't want to spend the iPad Pro price,
Right.
right? But you are a creative, maybe you want to draw or sketch or something.
Take notes.
This is a great one. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a great option for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I think that just about does it. That's the iPad mini. Yeah, the new one. I mean, it's
It's new.
it's an iPad mini. But yeah, we still have a lot of other products to review in the pipe. So if you enjoyed, consider hitting that subscribe button, especially if
Please
you're new.
do.
Just broke 26,000 at the time of making this video.
Because of you.
Yeah, so I think we break 30,000 before the year is over. And again, can't thank you guys enough. We love each and every single one of you. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Till the next one.
Peace.